Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. I'm Mariah. Today I'm going to share my story in my own words. Each of us has a story and this is mine. My story begins on the day of my birth. I was born on January 17th, 1992. I was born prematurely at 6.5 months and I weighed a pound and 10 ounces. I was on a ventilator for a month. Based on what my dad told me, because of what the doctors told him, I had a 50% chance of survival. And based on what my mom told me, I came home and was on oxygen for a month. Because of my because or based on my prematurity, there was there were mental developmental milestones that were delayed. At the age of 2 or 3, I know that I would bite my sister for no apparent reason, based on what my mom told me. I now know this is an autistic trait, and I realize that because I've worked with autistic kids and other different kids that do that, like just randomly bite for no reason, which I didn't know back then. Like I didn't know back then. I don't even think I knew that I did this. I only know this because my mom told me. Through the help of my mom, I learned to stop doing that. At the age of 3, I know that I got extremely upset and had a meltdown in the parking lot of a department store, which is based on what my mom told me. I now know that that was an autistic meltdown. At the age of 5, my kindergarten teacher told my mom about my learning difficulties in school. I was tested and diagnosed with both a cognitive disability and a learning disability. I was given an IEP and my accommodations. At the age of 5, when learning to read, I used Hooked on Phonics, books and tapes. I don't know if anyone knows what that is or if those even are still around, but that is what I use because I'm dyslexic. Using both the books and the tapes helped me with learning to read. After years of trying to tie my shoes, and this is another thing that I had problems with. I don't know if it was because of dyslexia or anything else, or if it was the autistic or ADHD side, but for many years, I tried to tie my shoes. My mom showed me how to tie my shoes for a long time, and we back then we through the use of I finally grasped it. I don't know how, but I guess probably because I practiced on this shoe tying book we used to have, and I think I finally grasped it through that, and which is awesome. I know that I didn't feel any different or realize that I was different before the age of 8. And to be honest, my brain has safeguarded everything before the age of 8 to protect it from any trauma, I believe. So I really can't recall many memories before the age of 8, but after 8, there's a lot of trauma. So I think my brain locked those memories up, so I could not, so those couldn't have further harm to them. That's what I think. I don't know for a fact. And I'm not a doctor, so I can't know that. Even doctors may not know. At the age of 8, I experienced my first encounter. I experienced my first encounter with knowing that I was different because my grandmother laughed at me when I was reading the Bible when I stayed with her during the summer. This was my first time. This was the first time I've ever felt shame, and it caused me to have extreme anxiety when it comes to reading out loud. I did tell my mom after the fact because I didn't honestly. Actually, my sister told my mom. I think I was in shock after it happened, so I don't think I really could process it. At the age of 9, my mom told me. Well, actually, this is later on in life. I found out that my mom realized there was a shift in my behavior and my attitude after this experience, but I don't think she back then and me and myself. I don't think I understood how significantly this impacted my behavior, but it did because I didn't realize my parents, because I have loving, supportive parents and loving and supportive siblings. At least at the age of like little when I was young, I didn't realize that I was different because they never treated me in that way. When I'm saying they never treated me as if I was defective or anything, and they've always been awesome parents. I'm grateful to have them, both my dad and my mom. Okay. While in school, I always read undergrade level, had difficulty reading with reading comprehension, had difficulty with pronunciation, had difficulty with performing well on tests and processing abstract information. At the age of 8 or 9, some of my classmates and I, who all read under grade level were separated out so that we could get specialized help. Basically what I'm saying is people that were on IEPs, which are individualized education plans, which are given to people that have disabilities and need extra help and accommodations. We were all taken out of class. Also, another point that I didn't say is there was I think it might have been later on in my elementary school years, maybe 9 or 10, where we were separated. I hated this part. My mom now knows. I didn't tell her back then. There was a part where all the classes came out in the hallway, and because different classes had different kids in it that were really smart, and the ones that read a little bit under, not under grade level, like they were normal grade level, higher advanced grade level, and the people that had lower than grade level, which was me and some of my classmates. I felt singled out. I know that's not what they intended, but like I remember seeing my sister, and she would go. She's very smart. She's always been a smart child, and that nothing to do with. I'm not trying to belittle myself compared to her, but I'm just saying they separated us out in the hallway and made me feel singled out, and I'd never liked it. And my mom said she wished she had known because she would have probably talked to me and told me some like maybe ways to cope with it. I don't know. Oh yes. But the reason I said about the specialized help. So through this, through being able to be separated from me and my classmates separated out and getting specialized help. Through this, me and my same classmates got to go to this back then. It was called special education. I'm sure it probably still called that special education classroom to interact with other kids like us. One time while I was there, I got to read to a nonverbal autistic girl who was around the same age as me. Her name was Jessica. I don't know what happened to her. And it made me feel happy because I was able to do this, especially because I have problems with reading. So for me, that was a big step. Another time when I was there, me and the same classmates that I previously mentioned, were able to do activities with these kids, and I just thought it was really cool. At the age of 12, which so we're somewhere now in middle school age, I had a tutor that helped me with reading comprehension, writing, and she also helped me learn when I organized my thoughts into an outline or just a graphic organizer. Well, me and her and my mom have learned that when I can do that, my writing is fine and cohesive. But when I can't do that, that's when the problem comes. You can see the problem. And I learned years later that my tutor told my mom she thought I had mild dyslexia. And if you want to learn more about my dyslexic side, you can watch my video. I do a video that details out all that stuff. Same with ADHD and being autistic. I have 3 different videos on those. At the age of 14, this was my first experience with being bullied. This was one of the worst times of my life. During this time, my bullies made me feel worthless and more for being different. And this is where my depression, suicidal ideation, and suicidal attempts started, unfortunately. At the age of 16, this was my second experience with being bullied. This was another one of the worst times of my life. It made me feel worse. After these 2 experiences, it caused years of self-hatred, very low self-esteem, bitterness, emotional pain, depression, suicidal ideation, and suicide attempts. A lot of them. At the age of 18, I graduated from high school. Throughout elementary school, middle school, and high school, I always was in inclusion classes. Inclusion classes are where you have both the general ed and the kids with IEPs/504s in the same classroom. Throughout elementary school, middle school, and high school, I always assimilated/masked to be like others in school because I think I realized that my behavior wasn't appropriate for school, if that makes any sense. I didn't really know. Also, I already had the part where it was damaged, where I never actually got to be myself because the times where you develop yourself, they were damaged through both bullying and the trauma there. So I didn't think it was okay to be myself. Throughout elementary, middle, and high school, making friends, and social situations have always been hard for me deal with and do, which is why I'm surprised I actually have a best friend now, honestly. At the age of 18, I started to attend university. During my first semester of freshman year in college, I earned 1D and 3Cs, and I was placed on academic probation. During my second semester of my freshman year in college, I earned 2As and 3Cs, and I did my first year of college without accommodations at all, and because I told my mom, I said I want to try, see what it's like to have no accommodations, because I never knew what it was like to not have accommodations. Um, Also during the time that first year of college, I met my best friend who I've almost been best friends with for 14 years, which is crazy. And it's awesome too. Okay, so after the summer of my freshman year in college, I got tested for my college accommodations at the age of 19, and I did get my college accommodations. I will definitely share. So I just let you know, I'm going to share the evaluation that happened in a different video later on. Not maybe, I don't know what week, but I will do that just so people can see that. After my sophomore year of college, I took a year off. During this time, I volunteered with neurodivergent kids at my church, which I loved. And also during this time, I worked a part-time retail jobs, which I did not enjoy because I'm not good with people. Uh, with people, especially adults or particularly adults. I worked retail from March of 2013 to August of 2013, and then the fall, I went back to college in the fall of 2013, and I started my junior year at 21. At the age of 22, while attending a Wednesday night Bible study and dinner in college, a lady who worked with adult dyslexics told me that I was dyslexic, which just confirmed it because I always knew I was dyslexic, but she just confirmed it based on, I guess she heard me talking to my siblings about my sister and my friend at the time about something, and I guess she could pick up on the signs, which is kind of cool that people can pick up on signs that I I'm not aware that I'm doing. Um, I graduated from college or university in May of 2015 at the age of 23 with a Bachelor of Science in Business Management, which I wanted to use in creating my own business where I help the disability community. In November of 2015, at the age of 23, I got my first job working with kids through Alpha Best Education, which is a before and after care program. And I kept this job until February of 2017. While at this job in the year of 2016, at the age of 24, I was able to volunteer at the elementary school where I worked at with neurodivergent kids. This passion for helping, supporting, and working with the neurodivergent kids has always been there since I was young. I volunteered from March to October of 2016 during the school year. During the summer of 2016, at the age of 14, I volunteered for a special needs camp, and this was it was a fun and very awesome opportunity to be a part of. In September of 2017, at the age of 25, God, I hope I don't cry. One of the worst things happened to me. My grandmother died, and I felt numb and depressed and so much more. During this time, I almost went insane, and it is true, I did almost go insane because I wasn't sleeping, I couldn't process what happened. I literally for months and months and months I couldn't process it, and I felt so much guilt. I felt a lot of guilt and pain and like a lot there. But 2 years after her passing, I think it actually was the date of her burial, that I started at the age of 27, where I started this disability YouTube channel, which is insane. I didn't think it would happen because I wanted people to have a place where they could feel loved, supported. Well, sorry, I wanted to have a place where the disability community could feel loved, supported, and more. Um, I worked with neurodivergent kids at an elementary school from March of 2021 to December of 2023. I loved that job, but I had to quit because of a violent child who caused me both physical pain and emotional pain. And also through that one child, I had almost had a nervous breakdown, and my mental health was really doing really bad. In June of 2021, I started therapy after two major suicide attempts that almost cost me my life. Um, I had to Oh, sorry. Yes, I had to stop. Sorry, I had to stop doing therapy because I quit my job and no longer had insurance. Therapy, working on myself, and support from of others are the reasons I'm in a much better mental place now. In July of 2021 to July of 2023, I dated my wonderful ex-boyfriend who allowed me to be myself without ever judging me, and I'm grateful to him for that. He and I are still really good friends. In August of 2022, my therapist suspected that I had borderline personality disorder before she finally realized that I'm autistic and an ADHD through the use of the DSM-5. Through the online community, self-discovery, and therapy, I learned that my cognitive disability is being both autistic and an ADHD, and I've always known that I'm dyslexic. Both people in real life and online always all told me that they believe that I'm autistic, dyslexic, and an ADHD, which is not surprising to me. It just confirms what I thought or suspected. I am happy that my disability YouTube channel is a safe space for the disability community. At the age of 31, I attempted to get a formal autism diagnosis in July of 2023, and that didn't happen because the assessor or the person who was going to give me the test made it very stressful for me for taking the test, so that's why I didn't do it. I did an intake with her, and after everything, I told the assessor or the person that was going to give me the test. She said she believes that I'm autistic. At the age of 32, which I turned in January, I'm learning that it's okay to be Mariah. Throughout my life, I never felt comfortable around people, especially crowds. Throughout my life, I called things Mariah things because I didn't know others experienced that similar things that I did. All my life, I've always had extreme or intense emotions. All my life, I've always been able to hear and smell things that others could not. All my life, I've had issues with textures with food aversion, um, similar textures with clothing, and more. Now I know these were autistic traits. All my life, I've taken people at their words, at their word. And all my life, I've had a supportive family that consists of my loving mom, my dad, and my two sisters. And I've also had supportive friends. Uh, I'm very grateful for everyone that watches this video because this was hard for me to tell, and I hope that this encourages you. I'm grateful to those who love me for me and let me be me. Thanks for watching. I love you guys. Bye.